Hello, Ikra Fatima. Great to meet you. I'm Get Geek, and I will be your interviewer today for the HR specialist position. Let's start with a quick intro. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. How are you?
Glad to hear. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Let's begin with the first question. What initially sparked your interest in pursuing a career in human resources, Ikra, and what experiences have reinforced your passion for this field?
Okay, so at the start or before even getting into the role, I used to love to communicate with people. I used to feel that this is something that I do very fluently. So that's when I got to know that there is a sort of position where um, you get to know people, you get to work with people, you get to communicate a lot with them. So initially I that was something that sparked in me and helped me to get into this role.
That's a great foundation, Ikra. Communication is key in HR. Let's move to your long term goals. As you grow in your career as an HR specialist, what are some long term goals that you hope to achieve, and how do you see yourself making a lasting impact in this field?
Okay, so I feel that if we talk about core HR, that is not something only hiring and firing and recruitment and acquisition. It's something beyond. I think it's more into making people's life easy and the people who are working with you. Uh, uh, Making some sort of impact in their life so they can be ease at the workplace and as well as their home. So I guess that is something I wish to do with people, that whoever is working with the team or with the company I am in, they feel some sort of relief within the organization as well as in their life, so that they, I mean, all their parameters and all their expectations from the life has to be met. So yeah.
That's a thoughtful approach, Ikra. Creating a positive impact on employees' lives is truly commendable. Now, let's move to a lighter topic. Outside of your work as an HR specialist, what are some unique hobbies or interests that you're passionate about, and how do you think they influence your approach to your professional life?
Okay, so the very first thing I like and I wish to do every time I go somewhere, this kind of site. So I feel I love stargazing, and that is something where you do where you put all of your observation. So if we talk about the link between that hobby and that particular habit in HR, so I feel the observation is very important when I talk about the stargazing and the sky gazing. So there, you when you do the observation there, you see the sky, you feel some sort of nature, you feel the connection. So similarly, this observation you can implement in your professional life as well, where you feel the connection with people and you feel that what kind of nature they opt, what kind of nature they have. So that's where I guess this both can work.
That's a beautiful analogy, Ikra. Observation really is key in understanding people. Now, let's dive into a more practical aspect. How do you handle tight deadlines in your work as an HR specialist?
Okay. I feel when you have tight deadlines, so you gotta plan it. So when I have something like that, and I have some task in my bucket list that has to be delivered in some limited time, so I try to do it by assigning or by aligning the time. For example, if I have a task and I need to get it done within 3 days, so similarly I have another task and that have deadline of 2 days, so I'll try to do both tasks simultaneously. And once I'll be free from one task, so that way I have more time for the another task. So that's why I can do that.
That sounds like a solid strategy for managing your time. Now let's talk about teamwork. Can you tell me about a conflict you resolved within a team? What was your tactic?
Okay. So I had a conflict in my previous company where I was co-managing a team with my other manager. So he used to feel that there is some sort of conflict competition between him and I. So I didn't get the clear communication from him. I just got to know this that he has some sort of this problem. So and that way he was feeling a kind of threatening or conflicting situation between us. So when I got to know, I went to him and I talked to him about all the situation and that what in his mind and what I feel about it and how can we resolve it. So that is how I talk to him, I communicate basically. And that thing went well.
That's a great example of proactive communication, Igra. Addressing conflicts directly can really clear the air. Thank you for your thorough answers. Let's now dive deeper into HR specialist specifics. What is the most effective method for sourcing candidates for a technical position?
Okay, I feel um, the most effective method that I have ever used is the headhunting. Because when as well as you can go with the posting the job on some page on some on LinkedIn or maybe on your website so that people can apply through it. But I guess the most best thing that can give you the right and the most matched candidate, that is the headhunting through LinkedIn or through any other platform that is providing the candidates.
Can you elaborate on how you approach headhunting on LinkedIn?
Okay, there's a term called Boolean search. So I sometimes get it done, and at times I go to the search bar, I write the position, or I use some filters. For example, the location, the company, the region. I can choose it. So and then I go to the profiles of each individual that I feel that kind of match the criteria or match the company's expectations. So once some profile will be matched, so I will just text them if they are interested to get to know more about the position, and later on when they will reply to me, so that I can move towards the further recruitment procedure for recruitment cycle with them.
That sounds effective. Let's move to the next question. Which of the following is a key technique to assess a candidate's cultural fit during an interview? Great choice. Can you give an example of a behavioral question you might ask?
Okay. For example, if someone says that he has a very good decision making, or he has a very good problem solving, so I would ask that what was the last time he solved a problem, or I would ask some personal questions from his personal life. For example, what was the last decision he made and he is not guilty about it and he's happy about it. So that's when I will be get the answers from him, that what sort of decisions he made. Is it small, is it big, is it with lot of pressure, with lot of influence, or is it some his soul, his own decisions that was taken by him. So that's when I got to know that how much he's sticking to his idea of being him a decision maker. So that way I guess I can do that.
That's a thoughtful approach. Let's move to the final question. What are the essential components of a well-structured job description? Description.
Okay, so starting from the company introduction, that what his company is all about, and then what role we are hiring. We can write something about it, that we are, for example, we are hiring for AI engineer who's specified in this and this and this, and later on we can talk about the most required responsibilities that are expected from the candidate. Later on, I can write the skills that are good to have, and I can write the benefits that are providing by the company. And later on, last in last field, I can write and talk about that how that candidate apply through which email, which link. So that's how we can structure the JD.
Thanks for answering for now, Ikra Fatima. We're going to take a short 1 minute break. Please feel free to grab a refreshment or simply take a moment to relax before we proceed. Welcome back! I hope that break gave you a good boost. Are you recharged and ready to rock this interview?
Yes, we can start it.
Fantastic. Let's get rolling. This is the exciting part. What is the first step in resolving a workplace conflict?
I guess understanding the situation, or understanding the whole story. If you get data from one aspect and then you are instantly concluding or jumping into the conclusion that this is this whole story, then no. I guess you should know the whole story, and you should know the each area that has to be covered in that conflict. So knowing the story, I guess, is the most is the first step, I guess, and the important one.
That's a great point. How would you gather all perspectives in a conflict situation?
Okay. Uh, I guess when I have a data from one side, so
Could you elaborate on how you would gather all perspectives in a conflict situation?
yeah, in a conflicting situation, if there are two entities or three entities, so and if I get the data from one entity, so I would try to get into the more entities that who's part of the conflict or who's not part of the conflict, and somehow someone who's being a observer, who can be the observer in that situation. So I would go and ask all the people who are uh, possible uh, participants of the conflict, and or not the participant, or be the observer. So I would just ask them, go to them, and see what is the whole story and what is all about. That's how I can get the perspective of all idea of all data.
That sounds thorough. Let's move to the next question. Which of the following is a key component of effective communication in employee relations? Great choice. Why do you think active listening is crucial in employee relations?
Okay. So when someone comes to you and he expects you to listen, rather you tell them everything. So the first step is to listen, and actively listening, and not just listening, to make them feel that they are being heard. That is very important to build a relation with the team member in a company.
That's a solid perspective. Now let's move to the last question. Explain the importance of understanding labor laws in a
Okay. Labor laws are very important because somehow they are intact to the country law, and when you will know that where you are being biased, and where you are being very honest and fair and gentle with the team members. So if you don't know the laws, then you might make some sort of decisions and end up with those kind of decisions that are not very beneficial for you and the team as well. So if you know all the laws, all the criteria that is being defined in the laws, so you can make decisions based on them, and that would be fair to the members as well.
Ikra, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. It was great speaking with you. After we conclude, a feedback screen will appear, and I'd love for you to share your thoughts with us. We appreciate your input. You can expect to hear back from us in about 1 week. Once again, thank you, and we look forward to being in touch soon.